Between the untouched nature and deep forests lies the world's most digital society. In 2020, more than 17,000 people chose Estonia as their migration destination. We are a society that can think outside the box while offering world-class education, security, and a Nordic atmosphere to our people. This video series provides an introduction to the important aspects of the Estonian life for a person coming to Estonia. With these videos, we're going to cover topics like your rights, obligations, language, culture, business, health, and much more, while focusing on those who come to Estonia with a valid D visa. What is the D visa? A visa is a permit for non-Estonian citizens for a temporary stay in Estonia. The Estonian state issues 3 types of visas. There is the A visa or the airport transit visa, the C visa, which is also called the short-term visa, and the type D visa, also called the long-term visa. In this video, we will briefly talk about the short and long-term visas. The D visa is issued for up to 365 days for different purposes. In 2020, more than 17,000 long-term visas were issued in total. Most visas were issued for the aim of short-term work. In addition to that, many people applied for a D visa in order to visit their relatives, study in an Estonian educational institution, do business, or work with a startup. The long-term visa is valid for up to 12 months and can be issued for 1 or multiple entries to Estonia. Elsewhere in the Schengen area, however, you can stay up to 90 days during a 180-day period. When applying for a D visa, it is important that a person has a valid health insurance policy. This ensures the payment for the medical treatment in the event of a disease or injury. Coming to Estonia with a D visa. A long-term visa can be issued to anyone who wants to come to Estonia. You can apply for a long-term visa for various purposes, but the requirements and documents to present for your application to be successful can be somewhat different. Among other reasons, you can apply for a D visa to work as a digital nomad, build your startup, visit relatives, or study in an Estonian educational institution. All of these options are also described in our videos. C visa. The type C visa is a short-term visa. The person arriving in Estonia with a C visa has the same rights regardless of whether they arrive on a short or a long-term visa. However, there is a difference in the duration of your stay. A short-term visa allows you to stay in the Schengen area, including Estonia, for up to 90 days, whereas with the long-term visa, you can stay for up to 365 consecutive days. You must also keep in mind that with a short-term visa, your stay is limited to 90 days in a 180-day period. With a long-term visa, the limit applies only if you apply for a visa several times. Then the period of stay must not exceed 548 days in the period of 730 days. NATO Status of Forces Agreement. Aside from visas, some statuses can also give you the right to stay in Estonia. For instance, the NATO Status of Forces Agreement, or the NATO SOFA. This is a military cooperation agreement that allows those related to NATO to come and stay in Estonia without the visa requirement. It is neither a residence permit nor a visa, but the right to stay in the country. The NATO SOFA persons are subject to immunity in the performance of official duties. However, persons are obliged to respect the laws and regulations in force in the country of residence. More information about the NATO SOFA status is typically shared by the relevant authorities. Diplomats and their legal status. Another way of coming to Estonia without a visa is via the legal status of a diplomat. This status is established by the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations and the Vienna Convention on Consular Relations. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs issues diplomatic visas in Estonia, and diplomats have immunity in Estonia. They also have the opportunity to travel to all the Schengen area countries. More information about the diplomatic status is shared by Ministries of Foreign Affairs. Find out more about the D visa on the website of the Estonian Ministry of Foreign Affairs at vm.ee. To find out more about life in Estonia, use Visit Estonia and e-Estonia portals. Visit Estonia.com and e-Estonia.com.